Hey guys, it's Nathan here, and today we are we are going to react to true stories, which are not true because no way this happens in real life. Not just watching while I decided to watch as my own, and let me just instead of trying not to laugh impossible, which are not funny anymore, we're going to do these reaction. We're going to react reaction but my true I don't know, I don't remember what to type. True story animation channels. Exactly. Wait a sec. Oh my god. Wait, 67. Okay. Okay, which one should we do today? I'm 30 years old. I'm 30 years, but I'm still 16. Okay. Poisonous? Which one should we watch? I feel like this one. Maybe. You know what? We're going to watch this one. Right?
We were next door neighbors and constant playmates. It was the most natural thing that we became best friends. Jake lived with his grandparents.
I forgot to make sure you're buckled up because it's going to be crazy and a ride because it's, even though it's fake story, it's going to be crazy with twist. What a twist. And I hope you guys are ready.
He was always over my house. I think he enjoyed being part of a normal family. So I made him play with dollhouses with me. He taught me how to play baseball. We rode our bikes and flew kites. We played princess.
I say that, but why is the role switched? Why is he a princess and you're the dancer? But boys are not supposed to play dollhouses. Boys are not supposed to play dollhouses. If you're a boy and you play dollhouses, be shamed.
And monsters. Jake was always my knight in shining armor. We played in sandboxes, playgrounds, and even did our homework together. Jake and I were inseparable. When we got to junior high, we were each other's dates. It was easier that way. We were always together anyway. I didn't have to worry if I was pretty enough to be asked by other guys. Jake didn't have to be nervous about asking another girl. We did a lot of crazy things together. Once, when we were 10 years old, Jake dared me to drink some of his dad's brandy. It tasted awful. I threw up right after and got a terrible headache the next day. Jake teased me a lot about puking, so I just pretended that I didn't remember anything that happened. That's how we were, always joking and teasing. Since we were always together, we just both assumed that we would always be there for each other, no matter what. We got teased a lot, especially by our families. They called us Mr. and Mrs. We just shrugged it off. Besides, I didn't think it was so bad if I ended up marrying Jake when we got older. It would be great to marry my best friend. When I would think about it, I always pictured myself at a wedding with me walking down the aisle with my hand on Jake's arm. It was like it was foretold. I already met my soulmate when I was just 4 years old. Do you want to meet and marry your soulmate too? Click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave a great comment below. But as we got older, things began to change. I guess it's only natural that Jake started hanging out with other boys. I had other girlfriends too, but my best friend was always going to be Jake. Nothing was ever going to change that. One day, Jake went over to my house and brought a new friend along. "Hey, Sarah," he said, "this is Gilbert." When I looked at Gilbert, my heart totally stopped. He was the most handsome boy I had ever seen. When the sun hit the top of his head,
This is what you would call handsome today. What's a weird thing? This man looks, I don't even know. He looks like Tails, Tails, the 1, 2, 3 tails, and then it just spins around. Is it 2 tails? Yeah, he's 3 tails. He's 3 tails in Naruto, and he has the beard. He looks kind of stupid. Like, look at his beard. Look at his face. Look at his nose. Like, yeah. Like, that nose is full of flies. I've seen a nose full of flies, and that's one. That's one, and that's two. No? This is... I can't even say anything. I can't... No.
His golden hair shone like a halo. I felt like I was looking at an angel. "Hi, Sarah," Gilbert said. He shook my hand, and I felt the electricity pass between us. Jake asked me if they could
What electricity? The electric ugly? Okay, that was a bad joke. Okay.
hang out with me that day. Of
I
course, I said yes.
About.
Gilbert turned out to be a great guy. It even helped that he looked like a model, too. He was funny, and he was a good listener. He always smiled when Jake and I got into our arguments. I have to admit that I developed a little crush on Gilbert. How could I not? He was so handsome and kind. So, for months on end, it became the three of us. We watched movies together, we had silly picnics in the park. The summer before we all left for college, our parents agreed that we could all take a trip with just the three of us. So we went to the beach house of Gilbert's family and stayed overnight. After dinner, Gilbert brought out some drinks. We giggled and laughed a lot, knowing that we weren't old enough to drink yet. But we did it anyway.
Wow.
I wasn't used to drinking, and I got drunk really fast. The next thing I knew, I was on the couch cuddling with Gilbert.
No, just playing alone. But why would you do that? There's a reason why it's over the age limit. What is that reason? I don't know. A short intermission. What's the reason why they put an age limit over when you cannot drink like alcohol? Yeah, but they only drink alcohol. But there's a reason why. No? But they don't know.
"You're so handsome," I told him while I stroked his cheek. I could see that Gilbert was getting uncomfortable. "Sarah, I think you've had enough to drink," he told me. He tried to push my hand away, but I refused, and instead I did the most aggressive thing I have ever done in my life. I kissed Gilbert full on the lips. I didn't know if it was his first kiss, but it was definitely mine. I only stopped kissing Gilbert when I heard the sound of something breaking. When I looked up, I saw Jake looking at us with a shocked look on his face. Somehow, that look brought me to my senses. I blushed, stood up, and apologized. "Sorry, I think I've had enough to drink," I told the boys. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in. I splashed some water on my face to clear my head. I felt so guilty about doing something like that, especially in front of Jake. When I remembered his face, I remember seeing anger, disbelief, and a little bit of disgust. I knew
His face was disgust. That was his face. His face was like... looked so stupid. His face looks super stupid, but... I'm gonna zip it and lock it, and I'll turn on.
loved Jake, but was I in love with him? Should I have kissed him instead? It was a huge mistake to kiss Gilbert, but he was just so handsome. Is this how it felt, loving two different people at the same time? I felt so confused, and I totally dreaded facing the two of them again the next morning. During breakfast the next day, Gilbert tried to talk to me. "Sarah, about last night," he started to say, but Jake butted in. "She doesn't remember," he said. "When we drank some of my dad's brandy when we were 10 years old, Sarah did a lot of silly things, but she forgot all about them the next day." Although I remember kissing Gilbert, I decided to play along. I lied and said I didn't remember doing anything the night before. It was just easier to pretend that nothing happened. That memorable evening was the last one we had in a long time. I was off to a different college than the two boys. I knew I would only see them during the holidays. I was going to miss being with Jake all the time. But it wasn't all that bad. We were still texting and calling each other a lot. I was glad to hear that Jake was still hanging out with Gilbert. I was bummed to hear missed being with Jake all the time. But it wasn't all that bad. We were still texting and
What is that? What did these guys do? Wait, did these guys? Whoa, what? What's going on? What? I know these guys were. The plot twist was they were girls all along. That's the plot twist. That's the plot twist. The plot twist is that the title is fake. The title is so fake. Wait a sec. Wait. The title is so fake. Look. See? I faked losing my memory. Yeah, she guess what? She told her that she was a girl, and then I just realized this is stupid. Okay. I must be the one going to Jupiter then. Because there's no way.
calling each other a lot. I was glad to hear that Jake was still hanging out with Gilbert. I was bummed to hear that neither of them were coming back home for Christmas.
A girl sits like that. A boy sits like sits like this. A girl sits like this or like this, but a boy just sits like. And you see,
Miss or spring break. Jake's
seems like Jake has enough of being I guess the princess really got to his head. The princess costume definitely got straight to his head. Because that's how
that they had a lot of things planned with the boys. I just reminded him to be good and not to kiss random girls. You're the random kisser, he teased me. It was a good thing that he couldn't see my face because I still remember that awkward night. So I didn't see the boys until the next summer. On my first day back, I heard a frantic knock on my bedroom door. I jumped out of bed quickly and opened the door. Jake was standing there, all tanned and smiling. I hugged him fiercely. Then I felt another pair of arms around us. It was Gilbert. It was a nice three-way hug from a group of old friends. That summer almost felt like we were never apart. We spent every day together, just trying to catch up on missed time. I felt a little jealous of some of the things Jake and Gilbert did without me. It sounded like they had a lot of fun in their college. What about you, Sarah? Gilbert asked. Break any hearts in that fancy college of yours? I laughed a little too loudly and shook my head. Now that Jake was here, I realized that he was the reason why I never fell for anyone in college. No one understood me like Jake did. I looked at him and knew that he felt exactly the same way. It was a surprise when he asked Gilbert to go home early that day. I've got to talk to Sarah for a bit, he explained to Gilbert. Gilbert nodded and left. Jake asked me to go for a walk.
My eyes are not a good example of puppy dog eyes. They're too red. Too red from playing Friday Night Funkin' and those notes flying by the screen so fast. If you guys want me to play Friday Night Funkin', I will. Actually, I'm gonna play it and upload it. But I won't be able to talk because I don't have a mic check. Or a camera. And I'll just be quietly just hitting those notes. You know? And I have a lot of mods to play, so like I can see me doing that. I can actually see me doing that.
I was feeling kind of excited and nervous. What was he going to say? Was he finally going to let me know that he felt something between us? Were we finally finalizing that we were an item now? So we took a walk in the park. We sat down on a bench and he held my hand. There's something I want to tell you, Sarah. He began with all seriousness. I thought to myself, this is it. It doesn't matter to him that I kissed Gilbert last year. He knows that I was just drunk. He's going to tell me that he loves me too. I love you, Sarah, he said. I beamed. I've loved you from when we were kids. I've wanted to tell you something for a long time. I know that you'll understand. Sarah, I'm gay. What? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How can Jake be gay? I mean, he just told me.
He's what? He said I thought he said. Well, now if you think about it, that fixes the problems. She loves Gilbert, whoever that is. What was that guy's name with the Kurama tail? Like, I don't know. I don't remember his name, but that clears up that situation. He's apparently gay, which is, but that clears up that situation. So that situation's cleared up. Now let's continue with
That he loved me. Then he said something else that was totally unbelievable. He said that he was in love with Gilbert, and Gilbert felt the same way about him. I just sat there and stared at Jake.
Like, that's me right now. Like, that is stupid. That is just stupid and dupid. Like, what is this? So that's why who was that guy was I forgot to, but that's why he didn't like Freckle Girl. I'll just call it Freckle Girl because he has freckles. Freckles are yeah, okay. And stupid and dupid. And I feel like the story is becoming to be like a little. Actually, the story is actually one of the truest stories here. Because no stupid things, no stupid things that probably like won't happen in real life. But like so far, the story is 100% autistic. But he said he loved her, so. And he said he's gay right after. What does that mean? What does that entitle? I'm trying to get deep. I'm trying to get deep. But my voice don't go that deep. It goes Batman deep, but not deeper than that. It goes Batman deep. Batman. Okay. I can't go deep voice on my voice and go real deep. But like
all the things he could have told me that day, this was the last thing that I expected. I reminded him that he was upset when I kissed Gilbert. All this time, I thought he was jealous because he was in love with me. Then Jake laughed. I knew you were just pretending that you forgot about that night, he said. I was trying to save your dignity. I also know that you kissed Gilbert because he's so handsome. I thought that was the reason I fell for him too, but it's not just his looks. You know how Gilbert is. He's so great. Damn, Jake. He knew me too well. But there was something he knew nothing about. He didn't know that I was in love with him. He kept talking about wanting his own family.
Wanting his own family. I gotta say one thing. Gay people can have a family. Your parents probably told you they could, but they simply can't. With known reasons that your people who are gay would be saying why exactly, but nature itself teaches you that it's not possible for nature to be gay. Like in nature, there's like only two types of animals that the father gives birth to the child. Only two types, and all the types the mother gives birth to the child. So like I don't know what you were expecting. No.
Never felt like he was complete because he never knew his own parents. He was scared to come out to other people, especially to his grandparents. He kept asking me if I understood and if I was still his best friend. I couldn't reply. My heart felt like it was being crushed in my chest. So I stood up and left. It was just too humiliating. I didn't see either Jake or Gilbert again that summer. It was a relief when it was finally time to go back to school. I went through a dating craze when I went back to college, and I rarely went home. I didn't want to see anyone from my past. It was probably all over town by now. Everybody probably knew that Jake was gay. I couldn't face everyone feeling sorry for me. So I dated as many boys as I could. I needed to prove to myself that men could fall in love with me. I needed to prove to myself that I didn't need Jake's love. So I ended up dating Wesley, and he became my boyfriend. Then, one day, I was pregnant. There was no other place to go but home. I packed my bags and went home in
This
tears.
is why you don't
My
get
life
pregnant.
was such a mess. Wesley was just as shocked as I was. He didn't want to be a father, just like I didn't want to become a mom. Not yet, anyway. I was too young. I wanted to get married to a great guy first and have a honeymoon. I wanted a career. I didn't want to be bogged down with a child. I wasn't ready.
Well,
I don't know
that's
who
why-
called him,
that's
but
why you
suddenly,
don't do that.
Jake was back home with me too. He knew I was going through a hard time. We both cried a lot together. I feel so alone, I told him. But Jake told me something that completely opened up my mind. I felt alone for a long time too. It's not easy being gay in this town. I know people are judging me. I had hoped for your support when I came out. Then the gravity of what I did suddenly dawned on me. I kept saying that Jake and I were best friends, but I left when he needed me most. It's okay, Sarah, he said. I knew it was a shock. He
I
told me
would've
that he
left
loved
too.
me.
I would've
He
left
told
and
me
never
that being
talked. I
gay
would've
wasn't
just
going
been
to
like,
change the fact that I would always be his best friend. Then he told me that having a baby was one of the best things that could happen to anyone. I don't want this baby.
But if you think about it, he's never gonna have a baby because he's gay. Hold on. Like,
Jake,
I'm probably gonna get a
I
dislike
replied,
from you, dude.
you can't mean that you
That
want an
dislike doesn't
abortion,
mean anything.
Jake asked me with an angry voice. You can't do that. I sobbed and I nodded. I knew I could never do that. But what else were my options? You can
Give him
do
up to
this.
adoption.
I'll be with you the whole time.
Adoption.
You won't be alone,
Adoption.
he said.
Adoption.
This baby
Just
is going to
joking,
be
just
so
joking, just joking.
loved by everyone. He begged me not to give the baby away. He
Give him
reminded me
away.
that he grew up without parents. I nodded and agreed. I could be a mother to this baby if I wanted to. After a couple of weeks, I started to feel better with Jake by
Don't
my
eat
side.
pizza.
He was
Pizza is bad. What you eat gets digested, and then it feeds the baby. Eat good foods, healthy baby, big brain alert.
my rock. I got my strength from him. Then one day, he told me some more news. He and Gilbert decided to get married. I must have cried buckets of tears that day. I was so happy for him. I knew I could never have Jake. Even if I had deserted him in the past, he was still there for me. I was happy that he was happy. Somehow, the thought of Jake and Gilbert stopped tormenting me. I loved them both very much, and I finally decided that there was no room for jealousy if I loved someone. Jake would
Disgusting.
always be my first love, and if I loved him enough, I would be happy for him too. They decided to get hitched a few months before I gave birth. Jake asked me to walk him down the aisle. His grandparents didn't approve of their marriage,
Of
but I was
course,
going to make
understandable
sure
by
that
the
their wedding
grandparents.
was going to be
Grandparents, the parents will never approve. And if I was gay, my mother would come down to the wedding and break it up in 90 milliseconds. Guaranteed. 90 milliseconds, that's too long. 10 milliseconds, yes sir. Just like, the wedding would be broke up in under 1, 2, 3, let's say 10 milliseconds. If I was gay, I'm getting married to a man. Like, my mom would come down there with a machine gun. It would just be unfather blood.
full of love and support. It felt like the most natural thing. I saw this happen in my head when I was just a child. I was wearing a lovely dress, and Jake wore a tuxedo. Gilbert was waiting for
Sarah?
us. It broke my heart a little
Hop
to
in my tilts. Why does tuxedo sound like a car? Hop in my tilts tuxedo and go like brum brum brum.
let Jake go. But if I was going to lose him to someone, it was good that I was going to give him to a good person like Gilbert. They never even left for a honeymoon. My 2 boys stayed with me during the whole pregnancy. You're so lucky, Sarah, Gilbert said.
Yeah,
As
these
much
guys
as
are
I
gonna-
want to be a father,
You know what she should have done? She should have gave up the child. Then him and him would get the child. And then you could go off, study, be big brain, get your company, get back your child, and boom. Happy ending. I am the master of happy ending.
I guess I'll just settle for being your baby's favorite uncle. Hell no, Jake cried. I'm gonna be this baby's favorite person. It warmed my heart to hear them that way. The baby wasn't
They
here
warm
yet,
my heart.
and
I love
already they
this.
were becoming fathers. As usual, Gilbert agreed to give me anything that I wanted. It was great. It was like having two husbands that were super supportive. They took care of me. They held my hair back when I threw up. They rubbed lotion on my growing belly so I wouldn't get stretch marks. They even went out in the middle of the night when I wanted to eat some pickles. When I went into labor, I was brave enough to endure the pain. I was going to give this baby the best life.
Wait, does it not look like just like the heroic person in the anime, like what teaches, like doesn't that look like a person who teaches the protagonist in the anime? Just like, hey, you need to learn the stripes around here, and then the protagonist is like, but I don't want to be the one, but you are the one. Am I the one? But my name is Matthew Samodaki, and they say that the person who's going to be the one is Golden Emperor. Don't you know you? Don't you know the your birth parents were of the Golden Empire? What? So that means I'm Golden Emperor, and you have a clan that you need to record with it. I can't.
Could ever have. So I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. I waited to feel my motherly instincts kick in. I looked at my baby and wondered if I could do the thing that I knew I had to do. When Jake and Gilbert arrived to visit, I saw them hold the baby in their arms. They looked like a perfect family. I'm finally giving you a wedding gift. Sorry it took so long, I told my boys. You're holding her in your arms. Then I handed Gilbert a stack of papers. It was for my baby's adoption. I was giving up my rights as a mother. I was giving them my baby. Of all the years I've known Jake, I've never seen him cry until that day. And I never really realized just how much I loved him. I loved all three of them. I was giving my baby to the best parents in the world.
You know what? That was not half rubbish, but we all know who's prettier here, so we all know she's going to win, and they're all going to get sorry, and then blah blah blah, right? Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video.
Hi there. My name is Kathleen, and this is the story of how I ended up in a crazy marriage contest. Before we continue,
I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Tell a friend that I'm here, and hope you enjoyed my reaction to True Story Animated, and hope you guys leave a like. 3 likes. You know what? 2 likes. You know what? 1 like. No, 2 likes. 2 likes, not that really. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed. Reacted. What's the title of this video? I'll just make the title. You know what I'm saying? Okay. See you guys later. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I probably won't see you again for a while. So yeah.